All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Michael Kittle Rare Coins. And we have what I hope you guys will think is a good stream for this evening. We recently bought a collection of medals and want to share them with you and probably see some stuff that maybe you haven't seen before. Maybe some stuff you'll like, and maybe we'll even generate interest in a couple new collectors here and there. Who knows? Who knows? We shall see. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Adept. How you guys doing? See you in the chat there. Just a reminder, if you have not already done so, hi, Silver Mountain. If you have not already done so, make sure you get in our monthly free coin giveaway. We're going to pick the winner tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's the new month, May 1st. And we have a nice peace dollar up for grab this month. So make sure you're in the free coin giveaway if you're not in already. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. You know what, I'll just set this right over to the side. How about down there, just so it's peeking, kind of to remind people. All right, so what we have tonight is part of a collection I just recently bought, and it's a bunch of bronze medals, roughly 3 inches in diameter each, and they're from the Society of Medalists. And if you don't know the Society of Medalists, what it is it was a group that got together and they worked with the Medallic Art Company in New York to produce medals. Not necessarily just commemorative medals like have been done in years past that they put out for the 100th anniversary of this or the 50th anniversary of that. What they wanted to do is focus more on medallions of artistic merit and more medals of just broad mass appeal that everybody would like, whether you're a collector or not. And they would work with they'd reach out to highly reputed sculptors and famous people that did real sculptures, real artwork that people couldn't afford, sculptures that would have cost tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to have in your home. But if they worked on a medal that you could order from the Society of Medalists, you could have it for a few dollars, a piece of their artwork. So they started in 1930 was the first issues they did, and they ran all the way until 1995 with the Medallic Art Company. They would do two medals each year. They missed a year here and there because of World War II, and a couple of years they made more than two medals, but mostly it was two medals a year they came out with. And it was kind of a subscription service, and it started out you had to pay $6, and you get both medals for the year in 1930. Pretty cheap. Maybe not in 1930. Remember, yet we were right at the start of the Great Depression. Right at the start of the Great Depression, so even $6 to spend on some medals was up there for some people. But these medals today, they're very popular. Some of the designs are like very, very cool. And we'll go through and show them one by one and we'll chat about them if you have any questions. This one here's the first one I got right there. This one is called To Thine Own Self Be True. And it was made in 1954. And this is issue number 49 by the Society of Medalists. Issue number 49. And let me see if I can get you some information. Some of these I have some information on, others I wasn't able to find. This one here has the obverse. It's a muscular nude goddess of art holding a small Nike with Pegasus and a guiding star behind. And the reverse of this one, right there, is a hand holding a modeling tool in front of a caliper and an L square. And yeah, really cool. And around the outside it says, "This above all, to thine own self be true." Yeah, these are big, like the peace dollar in comparison. Yeah. Most of these, I believe, are 73 millimeters in diameter. They're big, chunky metal, super high relief. Look at this thing. And they're very popular today, and people collect the whole series. I believe there's 139 in the entire series. Again, going from 1930 until 1995 was the last year. And they pretty much quit making the medals around 1995 just because the cost had increased so much and the subscriptions had gone down. It just cost them making these medals just grew so much. All right. The next issue from 1995, or sorry, 1954 as well, is Socrates, or if you're a fan of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Socrates and Plato is what this one's called. And if I can get that one opened up, sorry, I've got another window here I'm looking at with some information. This one I couldn't find too much background information as far as what it's all about, but we can look at what it says. This one's kind of flat in relief compared to the others. This one says Socrates, discussing with his disciples. And on the other side, it's the philosopher in the grip of inspiration. Socrates. And there we go. And some of these I have mintage informations too. Just the mintages of all these were like mostly very small in comparison to like stuff the U.S. Mint produces. Almost all of them were under 1,000 minted. The last one we just showed was 748. The one before, no, the last one we just showed was 690 minted. The one before that was 748. This next one here, and unfortunately I didn't get the original boxes and paperwork with all of them. They were given to me in CD holders, which is less than ideal, but it's how I got them. It's how I got them. So this one here is from 1955. It's number 51 in the Society of Medalists series, and this one's called Proclaiming Liberty. And 722 of these were made. And get you some information on these. It's a stylized compass dividing the heads of European, American, Indian, and Africans. And around the outside it says Proclaiming Liberty, everyone to his brother. And it's pretty high relief. It's a cool piece. The reverse design is a look down at the North Pole. Resembles the UN emblem, and it says, "No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent." This one here, no, I didn't say 170. It'd be more than that. Most of them are between 500 and 1,000. There's a couple that are just under 500, I think, and there's a couple that are just over 1,000. This one here that we just showed was 722. 722 of those. And again, that one was from 1955. Got a next one here from 1955 is a real high relief example of, this one's more of a commemorative piece. This one is of Hans Christian Andersen. There were 681 of these made. 681. And it is the Danish writer and storyteller. I believe it's just his date of birth, 1805, and then 1955 is the year it was made, so 150th anniversary of his birth. Just a nice big high relief picture. And on the reverse, 150th anniversary. And it's got the swan. I believe that's because he wrote The Ugly Duckling. That's probably my guess on that one. These are nice high relief. These are big, thick, chunky metals. Real cool. And this is the 52nd issue of the Society of Medalists, and it was 1955. 1955. Sorry if it's taking me a second between each one. I'm trying to keep these in nice condition because some of them are quite valuable. Most of these go for, at a minimum, the Society of Medalists, you get them for around $50. For some of the real more common ones or less interesting ones. At the high end, these things can go for $300, $400, $500, $600 a piece. They also minted some of these in silver, 999 silver, but those were not done at the time. Those were done in 1970. In 1970, the Medallic Art Company went back and reissued a bunch of the medals from the 30s and 40s and 50s in 999 silver. Buffering a little bit? Uh-oh. Well, hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it's not too bad. If it gets to be too bad, just let me know, and then I can repeat anything if we missed it. This one here is from 1956. 1956, and I got the wrong side shown. I guess we're showing them both sides anyway. And this one's called Fall and Redemption. Fall and Redemption. The obverse here, this is the 53rd issue in the series. 1956. The obverse is Adam being offered the fruit of the tree of life by Eve and the serpent. And around it, it says, "The woman tempted me, and I did eat." I did eat. Check that out there. And on the other side there, we got the Archangel Gabriel, excuse me, delivering the Annunciation to the kneeling Virgin Mary. And it's got some, there's some Latin on his piece there, but it says around the outside, "Blessed art thou among women." So another cool high relief piece. This was 1956. And if you guys got any questions on any of them in particular, let me know and we can show them. So just kind of going through these. The next one from also 1956 is right here. This one is Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman. There was 635 of these minted. This is the 54th issue in the series of the Society of Medalists. And it's, let me see here. Middle-aged, bearded Walt Whitman facing left. And it says, "Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking," 1819 through 1892 right here. Real cool portrait. And on the other side here, we got, let me show that a little better. "Leaves of Grass," first publication, 1855. And it's got a burb and some pine cones. How many are there? Amanda, this series ran from 1930 until 1995. 139 total pieces in the entire series, and they did about 2 a year. And the ones I have are from 1954 to 1973. I believe I got 40 total. 40 in a row is what we got. Let me go ahead and set a couple of these to the side here so I don't make too much of a pile on my desk that goes crashing. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do this a little more organized. Here we go. Birds aren't grass. Birds aren't real, is what I heard. Okay, I'm not sure which is the obverse and reverse of this one. I'll look at that in a moment. This one here is 1957. And of course, I guessed wrong. That one goes like that. This is St. Francis of Assisi. And it is St. Francis and some of his friars in prayer. "Blessed are they who hunger and thirst after holiness." Well, that's this side. Sorry, I had it right, and then I had it wrong. And then the other side, we got St. Francis with a leper. "Where there is despair, let me bring hope." Are you going to try to obtain the whole set? Probably not. Probably not. A whole set of these with the boxes and paperwork and everything, you're looking at probably spending at least $10,000 to acquire, and there's a lot of cool ones. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I just got these as part of a collection that I got, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with them yet. This one here is one of the more expensive ones right there, and you'll see why in a moment. It's just really, really cool. It has more broad appeal. This one's called Creator and Creation. Creator and Creation. I think it goes this way. And there were 824 of these made. Creator and Creation. Just check this out before we even read about it. Look at how high relief that is. So here we have the nude creator kneeling in the heavens in front of the sun and the stars. Angel blowing a trumpet. And a couple tiny humans looking up from below, saying, "What is man that thou art mindful to him of him?" The reverse has the reclining God holding the sun in one hand, tiny man in the other, shooting stars, an atom in the background, in the image of God created. Really cool piece. Really cool piece. They look like little weapons. Oh, then some of these are pretty they're heavy too. Again, this box, they're about a half a pound each, I would say. And those of you guys on the metric system, I don't even know what that means. So they're about a half a pound each. They're heavy. And unlike a lot of just other commemorative medals or other things the Medallic Art Company made over the years, for the Society of Medalists, they were given a lot more creativity or creative power or creative license, I guess is what I'm trying to say, just to make something really cool and out of the ordinary for this series. And most people like that. This one here is 1958. It's called Pippa's Song, and 650 of these were made. This is the 57th issue, and it says the years at the spring. The years at the spring. It's a farmer with a bag of seed and his plow. The other side here, a woman feeding a goose. Honk honk, goose goes honk, right? And days at the morn. And supposedly, what I could find out, this is based on a Robert Browning poem called Pippa's Passes, where those lines are in the poem. All right. So we got that going for us, which is not heavy metal indeed. Heavy metal, MEDAL, if you will. The next one also from, make sure I'm grabbing from the right pile here. 1958 is this guy right there. This one's sort of interesting as well. This one is called Music and Drama. 673 of these were made. 1958. This one's got more, sometimes they were more bright bronze color. Sometimes they did more of a green antique finish on these, depending on what the artist decided. Some of them are very, very green looking, as you'll see later. But yeah, this one's called Music and Drama. Music and Drama. So it's a seated clown blowing a horn, is what they call that. And then we got the masks of tragedy and comedy. And it says music and drama. Where are the dates? I don't know if I could even show them. Some of them have them on there with a copyright, but on the edge, I'll read the edge of this. It's real small letters. It says the Society of Medalists, 58th issue. I'm trying to read it. It's really hard to read. November 1958. And I think it says, well, I mean, I can't, I think it just, the rest of it just says Medallic Art Company, New York. They're really small on the edge for most of them. But I mean, there's guides and people that collect these, and there's websites that list all 139 of them, and you can look at them and read them and check them out. So, but most of these came in a small box with paperwork, and the paperwork would tell you everything about it. But unfortunately, this is another one that was one of the more expensive ones. This one here goes for, typically you can't find it for like under 300 bucks. This one here is called, this is from 1959. It's the Apache Buffalo Hunt. The Apache Buffalo Hunt. And let's open this up and get me my information about this one. This one here, and I'm showing the wrong side first, but that's okay. This is a male dancer with a headdress and wooden swords. and a cloth streamers, and it says Apache Fire Dancer. Fire. Apache Fire Dancer. Why they did 2 a year? That's just what they came up with, Amy, from the beginning. It was more of a subscription service at the beginning, and you would sign up, and they'd mail you 2 a year. You'd give them your $6, and you'd get 2 a year. And then, as time went on and prices went up, the subscription fee kept going up and up, and then it was more like. And the reason the mintages are different each year is sometimes you'd have more people opting in, then other people would opt out, depending on their own situation and whatever design they liked. And on this side, we got the Apache on a horseback drawing an arrow, chasing the bison. Apache buffalo hunt. Apache buffalo hunt. So yeah, as you can see, this is probably one of the more expensive ones, not just because of the low mintages on these, but it's just got more broad appeal. You got a lot of Western collectors that would like this, collectors of Native American stuff. It's just a cool piece. A cool piece overall. Another one that some like a lot is coming up next. It's called God Made the Beast. And it's called that because it says right on it, God made the beast. And this was the second one of 1959. And it is 749 of them made. God made the beast. It's got a mountain lion in a tree. Really cool. And then on this side, we got some geese flying in the clouds and every winged fowl. And every winged fowl. So the idea behind this one, the artist, I found a message from the artist about this one, said it was designed as a reminder that God created animals, like the puma, of absorbing interest and beauty and quite apart from man, and that despite jet planes and guided missiles, wild geese still fly the skies. Pretty deep, huh? Pretty wild. They look like they're in very nice condition for not having the boxes and paperwork. Very nice condition. Whoever had these collected the series. I got all 40 of them for the 20-year run, and whoever put these together, even though they got rid of the boxes and paperwork, they kept them nice. They kept them safe. Maybe with seagulls. I'm just reading what they put on the teleprompter, like Ron Burgundy. All right. This one's a little bit of a different piece compared to the last ones. A different kind of look to it. More of an antique copper or antique bronze finish. This is called Roma Eterna. The 61st issue in the series in 1960. The obverse has really, look at this relief on this thing though too. Look at this thing. Really cool piece. It's Romulus and Remus. They tried to make it look like an ancient coin, is what the information I could find on it. They tried to make it look ancient. It's got the SPQR there at the bottom. And on this side, you got Constantine enthroned with his scepter and orb. Got the Holy Cross there. You got some Latin around there. I don't know what that means. It's a neat piece. Big chunky metal. All right, yeah, 741 of those were minted. At least that's what's reported. I don't know. And the Medallic Art Company, I mean, it's traded hands, I don't know how many times since the early 20th century. But as it trades hands, usually the records go along with them to the new owners, and they still have files on a lot of these. So you can, if anyone's researching or coming up with a new writing about this, it can still be done usually, and information can be found. The next one was one of the more popular ones with almost 1,000 of them minted in 1960. It's the Nativity issue. And pretty simple on this side. It's a Nativity. The 62nd issue in the series of the Society of Medalists. Got 3 shepherds looking up at heaven in prayer. And that's that side there. The other side there, you got the nativity scene. Ye shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Yeah, some of these have just tons and tons of detail, Kyle. It's just really cool what you can do on a big bronze medal. And it also makes you think at what the U.S. Mint does on their large size medals today. And it's like, shows you that they could do so much more if they weren't worried about mass production and worried more about the art. But that's not going to happen, right? Next up, from 1961, we got one called Pilgrims and Patriots, is what this one's called. Pilgrims and Patriots. 827 of these were made. You got the obverse here. Pilgrims landing at Plymouth Rock. They found freedom to worship God. The babe, that's what Mom calls her, calls little Oliver. The babe. On the other side, we got a Revolutionary War soldiers with swords and muskets. And there's a church and a stockade in the background. And it says, armed in the holy cause of liberty. Pilgrims and Patriots. All right. How you doing, Chew? Thanks for popping in. Thanks for watching. All right, that was a 1961 issue. The next one from there's pretty much 2 of each year. I think it's exactly 2 of each year for the whole run that I have. This one is called David and Goliath. David and Goliath, 925 of these were made. David and Goliath. And let's just see what it says. Let him not boast who puts his armor on. On the other side here, we got, as he who puts it off, the battle done. David and Goliath. Lots of detail. Hey, Cookie, how you doing? Kyle says, ooh, I want that one. What, the Pilgrim and Patriots one? Yeah, I haven't decided what we're going to do with these. I haven't decided what we're going to do with them yet. That one, I found one of those on eBay, the David and Goliath, was going for $200, so that was a better one. One of the best ones in the run that I got, one of the most expensive ones in the one that I got, that routinely sells for $300 to $400, is this one right here. And it's called Dancers and Bathers from 1962. Dancers and Bathers. And we had 915 minted of these. And it's a very simple piece, but very, very popular even to this day, and people always want this one. It's got 3 female nudes dancing on one side. And then on the other side, it's called Dancers and Bathers. Guess what's on the other side? 3 females bathing with a beach ball. Dancers and Bathers. Okay. Dancers and Bathers. Very popular piece. Very popular piece, and it goes for several $100 usually. And the artist, they wanted it to be more of a modern piece. He didn't like the way the female body was represented in modern art in the 50s and 60s, so he wanted to do it himself, and he made a medal, art for art's sake. And that's pretty much all it was. He just, not much more of a theme than that. Art for art's sake. Looks like a Witcher stream. Oh, man. Bathers and Dancers is that one. All right, after that, we got another one. I believe we're still on 1962. Yes, we are. Got that there. This one's called Land and Heritage. 836 made. Land and Heritage. And on this side, this is our land. Got a guy working the land. And on this side, this is our heritage. Farmer with his family. Pretty simple. Our land, this is our heritage. When this series started in 1930, it was almost exclusively American artists that they would work with. And a lot of famous people. Like you can go down the list of the artists and a lot of people that designed famous coins. The first one in the series was Laura Frazier, who did some coins. There was a lot of famous sculptors did some of these. And towards the end of the series in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, they started taking submissions from artists around the world. This one is another one of the very, very popular ones. And this one here, Ad Astra Prospera. Starting up with the Space Age. This one they almost made 1,000 of them, but even then it's still one of the more popular ones and goes for a little bit. And let me find this, let me find that. Got the star-shaped man soaring into space. Remember, 1963 is this one. That's pretty much the space age there, just starting to put people in the orbit. Gringo probably would like this one. How you doing, Jeff? Definitely one of the more popular ones right here. Really cool high relief, kind of a curved shape. And then on the reverse here, it's a man and woman advancing under the it's like got an angel guiding them to the stars. Spirit of the space age. Yeah, really, really cool piece. Yeah, and if any of you guys have any questions or want to take a look at any of them in more detail or anything, just let me know and we can talk about them. No real rules here. About halfway through what I got to show you. All right, let me bring up another one here. That was the first issue from 1963. The next one is that right there from 1963. This one's called The Heavens Declare the Glory of God. 875 were made. The 68th issue of the prestigious Society of Medalists series. It's the obverse with two angels, one playing, they call it a coronetto. The heavens declare the glory of God is what it says around. Show that. Oh, I lost my screen here. Do I got a favorite among them? I'll have to think about that. I don't know if we got to it yet. Yeah, there's some cool ones. I mean, I like that last one, the Starman, the Space Age one. That one's really cool. And then on the other side here, and the firmament is his handiwork. And that's the burb soaring against the constellation Scorpio, is what they say. Yeah. Neat. Do I have a favorite? Let me think about that. Let me actually see if I got a favorite. Let me think if I can answer that. Do I have a favorite? I like that Apache Buffalo Hunt one. I know that. I like the Creator and Creation one that we saw. I like. Let me see if I'm just kind of scrolling through to see if there's any that I like more than this. Yeah, you know what? There's one that I know that's really cool. That's coming up. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them I like, but there's a couple cool ones coming up still. One of them that our friend Randy would really love if Randy watches this again. Randy. All right. Next up is a departure from the norm in the series. It's a square. This one was one of the highest mintage ones that I got. 1,170 of these. And it's an honor to Socrates, is what they call it. Socrates. And let's get the information on that for you. 1,170 of these were made. And the information, it's got all in the background there. It says, honor to Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, Burton, Locke. I'm going to try, I see Nietzsche, Freud, and to all those who have helped man to understand his greatest enigma, himself. It's got a big portrait on there. And then on the reverse, it's got the lamp of knowledge there. In understanding's light, the specters die. So there you go. So the knowledge gets rid of the specters. Pretty cool. Yeah, this one's a popular one. And it was popular right when it was made. That's why instead of 7, 8, 900 of them being made, they made, almost 1,200 of these. They had a little higher subscription on this one. And that is 1964 is when that one came out. 1964. This one's another real popular one coming out next. Yeah. We'll just set it like that. I don't know which way it goes. This is another popular one. This one's called Sea Treasures from 1964. And it's got a sea green finish to it. They did like a sea green antique finish. Sea Treasures is what it's called. 937 were reported to have been made. It's got a diver under the sea with some fish. The other side here, a seascape with some more fish, some sea grapes, just a whole bunch of sea life. But they finished it in like this weird green finish. Socrates. Yeah, I know. I'm just making fun of the name Treasure from Bill and Ted. From Bill and Ted. Socrates, remember? And then he goes, Socrates. Socrates. I know. All right. Like a shipwreck, kind of. Yeah, it's almost like Dave the Diver, but no, they just did an antique finish on there. And the artist, what I could find on him, he was fascinated by the sea, and he really enjoyed making the metal, felt that life and movement are synonymous. Natural beauty of the sea is one that's always fascinated him, is what he says. And it was one of the most well-received pieces of the 60s amongst the Society of Medalists. They loved it when it came out. Amanda might like this one. I don't know if Amanda's ever seen this one. She'll probably like this one. This one here is called Alaska and Hawaii from 1965. Alaska and Hawaii. Excellent. Most non-bogus. Most triumphant, right, Treasured? All right, this is the 71st issue in the series, come out in 1965. The obverse is for Alaska. A couple of Eskimos, one chopping some ice, one doing some ice fishing. Guess what's on the other side? Hawaii. Got a couple Hawaiian women grinding poi and working on a basket weaving or floor mat. And it says Hawaii. And the artist came out with this because they liked the idea that Alaska and Hawaii were just added as states. And they knew it would be at least 50, 100 years, whatever, well beyond their lifetime until medals came out celebrating anniversaries of their statehood. So they just wanted to celebrate their statehood now for their 6th anniversary of statehood in 1965. And they loved Alaska and Hawaii mostly because there was 2 new states added to the Union, each bringing into the country a completely new and different culture and way of life. Thought it might be cat related. There's one that's really cool that's cat related. Do you want to see it now? I don't have it. And if you want it, it's going to cost you $500 to $750. It's probably one of the most expensive ones in the entire series. Do you want to see it? I'll show you a picture of it. I'll try to. We can take a little pause here. Let me see if I can pull up a picture real quick. It is the 116th issue, no, 115th issue in the series, which came out in 1987. Number one, hold on, let me get that right. 115 came out in 1987. You want to see it? You want to see it? There you go. It's called Cat and Mouse. It's called Cat and Mouse. Shaped like a piece of cheese. Cat and Mouse. Reverse. Cat and Mouse. And it's really high relief, really cool piece. They made 750 of them. And you can find them on eBay from time to time, usually $500 range. Cat and Mouse. It's kind of cool. You know, something different. Something different. All right. I don't have that one, unfortunately. I didn't get that one. But I got this one, which is really, really cool. And we have a friend that would pretty much die for it. But this is the next one from 1965. And it's called The Sower of the Forest. The Sower of the Forest. Almost 1,000 of these were minted, 984 of them in 1965. The Sower of the Forest. And what we have here is a squirrel with an acorn. Really high relief piece. Squirrel and an acorn. The Sower of the Forest. And the reverse. Squirrels. More squirrels. On tree branches. The little mountain range in the background. Could those be the mountains of West Virginia, Randy? Maybe. I don't know. The artist wrote in the brochure that came with this one. The artist was from New England. Said they just like gray squirrels. They got gray squirrels everywhere. The grace, personality, and rich forms of a squirrel are so accepted they're almost overlooked. So, and it was again one of the most popular ones that came out at the time, and a lot of people say it's one of the finest animal medals that they've ever seen. Tons of detail. A cool piece. Sower of the Forest. That's 1965. This one here's got a really wild look to it that was maybe not the most popular when it came out. This one is from 1966. It's called Nature, Perennial Inspiration. 807 of these were made, and it's got a green patina on it, trying to reinforce the nature theme. And a lot of people said they hated the finish on it. And they actually remade this medal years and years later in regular bronze. There's restrikes of this one. But anyway, this is what we got. Nature. It's got a nymph in a tree, they say. With lots of branches, and it says nature. And then on this side, got figures writing, singing, dancing, painting, and sculpting. And it says the perennial creative inspiration. Nature. Yeah, I like nature. But yeah, a lot of people hated this finish that they put on it. Made it look, old and corroded. And that there again was issue number 73 in 1966. 1966. All right. After that was the other 66 issue of Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. And this one here, let me get the info I found on this one. Thomas Jefferson. It's got a real high relief portrait of Thomas Jefferson there. The bust of Thomas Jefferson is, I guess, what they call it on a sculpture or a medal. Really cool. And around the outside, you got the beginning lines of the Declaration of Independence, which he wrote. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Really fun. Mr. Marmello gifting some Kittle got or it's not Kittle Gang, Michael Kittle Rare Coins memberships. What's up, Mr. Marsh? Thank you for that. On the other side, we got Standing Liberty in front of Independence Hall, the Liberty Bell, the Mayflower, the Boston Tea Party right back there for Mr. Marmello. We got the Boston Tea Party back there. And some coffins from the Boston Massacre is what it says those are. And it says around the outside, the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Thanks for the gifted memberships, Mr. Marmello. How you doing today? Thank you, thank you. 1941 has penguins on it. Oh, you look back and it's looking at some of the older ones? Yeah. There's a real cool one. I think it's 1935. It's issue number 10. It's got a big turkey on it for Thanksgiving. That's a real popular one. I think I showed that in a video once, or did a Thanksgiving thing about it once on the channel. This is a really wild one that a lot of people thought were weird when it came out. This one's called Beneath the Sea and Beyond the Sky from 1967. Beneath the Sea and Beyond the Sky. And this one was a little wild and got a lot of criticism at the time. Okay, you ready for it? How you doing? How you doing, Kanye? I mean, Kane. I mean, yay. I mean, ye. What's up, Canes? This one here, number 75 in the series from 1967. Right there. It's got a mermaid on a seahorse. But the other side's where the criticism came in. Everybody liked this side. Everybody loved this side. This side? They're like, whoa, what? Huh? It's got a flying saucer with laser beams of light. And it says, beyond the sky and beneath the sea are known but to God and fantasy. It's got a flying saucer. A lot of people thought that was a little much. Some people at the time called the reverse unfortunate. Way too modern. But the artist said, we attribute the unknown aspects of the familiar, and it's not that we believe what we see, but we see what we believe. So a little bit trippy, and you got to remember these were done in the 60s. Some of them might have been done under the influence. Maybe. I don't know. That's just my thinking on it. My guess on some of these. Next up, they almost made 1,000 of this one in 1967. It's called In the Wilderness, or In Wildness. Sorry, In Wildness is the Preservation of the World. And it's not a round one. It's another. This one is, what is that, a hexagon? No, pentagon. Pentagon. It's a pentagon. And again, it's got some trees, mountains in the background with the sun rising. In wildness is the preservation of the world. And that's a quote by Thoreau from his essay Walking. Very nice. Very nice. And on the other side is cool. Really high relief. Look at that. They just stick up on the piece there. You got bird, fish, butterfly, serpent, and a goat. Very cool. Very cool. What's up, Gringo? Of course you're late. Well, you're here. Well, you're here. You missed the one that you would like pretty much the most, the Ad Astra one, the man going into the stars, the space one. We got another space one coming up soon. I bet you can't guess what they did in 1969 with a space theme. I bet nobody can guess. All right. What happened in 1969 space related? No one knows. Nobody knows. That's coming up in about 3 or 4 more. This one here is from 1968. It's called Children, the Hope of the World. 924 of these were made. Children, the hope of the world. And believe it or not, they got on this side children. Looks like they're building some blocks, making something, playing with bricks, building blocks or something. Sure. And then here, got some kids dancing. Went to the moon. That's what they say, Cookie. That's what they say. Children, hope of the world. 1968. The other 1968 issue that we have in the series is this one right here. Let me make that way. This one's called Science, Perseverance, and Dedication. Science. The 78th issue of the Society of Medalists. Got a scientist looking at a microscope. All right. And we got a spider making a spider web. Pretty much, that's what this one is. Science. All right. We gotta delete Kyle's fake news comment there. Sorry. Okay, we don't allow fake news in the channel, Kyle. We don't allow fake news. Sorry. I'm not sorry about it, actually. No fake news. All right, next up is from 1969. 1969. This is another really popular one in the series. The American Folklore piece. American Folklore. And let me get the information on this because it's 803 of these were minted. 803. And it's got Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. Really high relief piece. Really cool. And on the other side, we got Johnny Appleseed planting his apple trees. American Folklore. Now, this one here, I mean, yeah, maybe there was, I don't think there really was a giant named Paul Bunyan with Babe the Blue Ox. I don't really think that's true. I know it's a story. But there really was a Johnny Appleseed, wasn't there? I don't think he's imaginary. But there really was a Johnny Appleseed. I don't know. Next, you're going to tell me there's not a Santa Claus. Right? Come on. All right, American Folklore, real popular one. Another very popular one that they did in 1969 is, of course, they made just over 1,000 of these. The Apollo 11 piece. The Apollo 11. And this is one you don't really see too often because, again, they only minted 1,067 of these. When you look at other 1969-ish Apollo medals that are out there, they made them in greater numbers. They're all over the place, really common. This one you don't see as often. So this one still goes for a good premium. And there it is. Nice high relief. Man's ever. Oh, this one has what does this have on it? It's got oh, it starts with this side. You gotta start with this side. And this has like the control room at NASA, kinda. And it says man's ever expanding sphere of experience, knowledge, and vision leads to man's eternal quest of space exploration. Apollo 11. It's got real detailed astronaut there. Look at that. Way more detail than you see on the other medals that they made for Apollo at this time. Even by the same company, Medallic Art Company. And there's also Metal Arts Company. They made Apollo medals in 1969. And don't look anything like that one. I'll tell you that. Well, that one is pretty sweet. That was 1969. 1970 is this one right here. And this one is called Uncle Remus. Uncle Remus. And it's got, let's see here. It says it's Briar Rabbit trapped by Tar Baby Briar and Briar Fox. It must be from some, I couldn't really find this. It's from, let's see, Joel Chandler Harris. And it's it's them making this from a childhood reading of Uncle Remus, his songs and sayings. I guess it's a children's story. I'm not familiar with it, so maybe you are. Maybe you are. And then there is the rabbit going through the briar patch. Joel Chandler Harris, 1848 through 1908. And this was done in 1970. There you go. Rabbits. Rabbits. Yep. I almost didn't get that in the holder there. Okay, we got it in the holder now. On that last one, Kyle, the big V, it looks kind of weird, doesn't it? It looks kind of like blocks the whole view of the medal almost. They say the information I found on it is that it's a raised central field surrounding the recessed, irregular five-sided window of the into the Apollo control room showing the staff, and superimposed is a high relief keeled V shape lined with human figures. So let's take a look at that one again. I don't know if it has to do with the Saturn V or exactly what it's all about, but there it is. And let's look at it under the microscope and see if we can take a look. It's supposed to be a bunch of human figures on the V, and it sure looks like it. Maybe it's all the workers building it, all the people, the world coming together. Couldn't really find out, but it looks kind of odd, doesn't it? Maybe it's left to our interpretation what it is. I don't know. It does have just a weird look right over the whole middle of the medal, though, doesn't it? Just kind of seems odd, doesn't it? I don't know, but it sticks up pretty good on that medal, though. I couldn't find exactly what they were going for on that, unless I just didn't read everything that was written here. Oh, maybe I didn't read everything that was here. The artist chose to highlight the groundlings' role on the obverse, the ground crew, the engineers, the scientists, as well as the public, represented by the many people on the V who had a role to play. And without everyone's support, a project of this magnitude would never have been possible. There you go. So there you go. But yeah, it's just kind of intrusive on the design almost, isn't it? Maybe. But that's what the artist wanted. And that's what the artist got. Next up here in the group, we have issue number 82 from 1970. 1,115 of these were minted. The series got a lot more popular in the late 60s and early 70s. So the rest of them that we're going to see here, the mintages are now over 1,000. By the time you get to the 1973 medals that we're going to show at the end, the mintage was almost 2,000. Got a lot more popular, and then it fell off in the late 70s and then kept going down and down and down and down until the series ended, pretty much. So this one here was 1970. And let's take a look at it. 1,115 of these were made. So we have a hand with a flame with interwoven human figures. We also have the reverse Pro Vita. All right. Wonder how many people actually held on to them in good condition. I don't know. I mean, again, this collection that I got does not come with the boxes and paperwork. So That's unfortunate because a lot of people like having the boxes and paperwork if you're going to be paying top dollar for these or wanting to keep them nice in your collection. The way I got them, they all come in CD holders. So at least whoever had got these kept them nice that way, from banging up against each other and getting all gross. So this one here is we're getting a couple of them that here are real cool that are popular issues. The ones from 1971. Both of these were pretty well received. This one's called Unleashing the Atom. Unleashing the Atom. How you doing, Arnie? Unleashing the Atom. Thanks again, Mr. Marsh, for the gifted memberships. I didn't know if that was going to work since we redid our memberships, but you tested that out, and I appreciate that. This one here has some of the guys that helped unleash the atom, if you will. And I'll bring up some more information on this one. It's got Einstein, Rutherford, Bohr, and Hahn. Their portraits on each other, or their busts, I guess. And the reverse, Unleashing the Atom. So two muscular figures, one was shackled, the other broken free. All right. Unleashing the Atom. Was bronze ever in need? Yeah, World War II. So a lot of the earlier issues probably got melted down for the war effort. So remember, the people buying all the ones from 1930 up until World War II, that was all Great Depression, you know. And when war came in, we stopped making the Lincoln cent in bronze, copper at the time. So even in the series of medalists, in I think it was either 1944 or 1940, one of the years they didn't make a. That's one of the years that they didn't make a medal in bronze. Instead, they made a small silver medal to save bronze and copper for the war effort. But I would guess some people probably were patriotic and said, hey, I don't need this collection of old medals or all these medals that grandpa just gave me. What the heck am I going to do with those? Here's one I know Gringo likes. This is the other issue from 1971, and it's Pandora's Box. 1,223 of these were made. And you got on this side here, Pandora #1. So you're looking down into like a cardboard box that's open up. And it's got like a tree and a serpent. It's, what is that, Pandora's Box #1? Maybe, eating the apple on the tree, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. And then on the other side, you got Pandora's Box #2, Unleashing the Atom, pretty much. Mushroom cloud with a death skull. So we got a couple Pandora's boxes that we might have opened up, is what the artist is presumably trying to say here. Pretty cool. From 1971. 1971. All right. Just a couple left that I have to show you. Just a few left. Next up is from 1972, and it's about the world population crisis. The world population crisis is what they say, from 1972. This is the 85th issue in the series for the Society of Medalists. It's got a Christ-like figure with a crowd of people all around. Just a bunch of dots, basically, and sticks. And the reverse is some figures dancing or something like that, and some flying birds. And they title it World Population Crisis. The artist says on one side, we only show a few figures in playful postures. Tried to give an impression of the relatively uncrowded world of centuries ago with its pagan joys. And on the other side, it's the image of the millions and millions of inhabitants of the earth who are living today. Yeah. yeah. The world population crisis is what they say. That's what the people said. One more from 1972 is this one right here. 1,509 of these were made. 1,509 was the total. And this is for the Chilkat Tlingit Indians. Don't know where they're from. Maybe we'll find out when I read the rest of this. From Alaska. They're Alaskan Native Americans or Native Alaskans or however you want to call it. And this is a chief in a ceremonial headdress. And the other side here, we got like one of their totems. They call it a house post. This is depicting a string boy legend and a cannibal mask. That's what they say about it. And a bear dance mask on the right. And a diving whale blanket behind. Alaska. Says they were a warlike tribe that became wealthy by trading furs with the Russians and Americans. Nice. Very nice. Armello says, Team Penny? What are you, British or something? We have sense in America, sir. We have sense. You hiked a section of the Chilkat Trail in Alaska? I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it looks like Chilkat to me. Here is number 87 in the series of the Society of Medalists. Number 87 from 1973, and it's called Youth and War and Sacrifice. 1,700 of these were made. 1,700. Youth, which is represented on this side here. Got a youngster playing a guitar. A youngster, they say, with long hair. That's not that long a hair. I guess it's a little bit. It's not a buzz cut, I guess. In the reverse, a soldier in uniform carrying a fallen or wounded comrade over his shoulder. Maybe a commentary on the Vietnam War in 1973. Maybe. No, it definitely is. It definitely is. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it's about. I was just reading some stuff that the artist had wrote, but there you go. All right. There is that one. And then final, the last one that I have in this group was the other one from 1973. And that's this piece right here. This is issue number 88. 1,625 of these were made. And it's called The Alphabet. It's called The Alphabet. And it's got a whole bunch of different letters from different alphabets around the world. And the reverse has a montage of our 26 letters in the English alphabet. Okay? Yeah. There it is. Marmelo's going AFK for tea. Well, you're probably going to miss the rest of the stream because we're just about done. That's fine. That's fine. That was number 88 from the Society of Medalists, 1973. All right, so we will go ahead and do one more thing at least right here. I am going to share a link in the chat right now of a pretty good resource, one that I've been reading off of most of the time, that you can read here. Silver Mountain, Kittle Fan Plus. Thank you very much, Silver Mountain. I do appreciate the support, and you did not have to do that, but you did, and I do appreciate that. You'll get free shipping on, or at least half price shipping, I think. Whatever I said in the rules when we do auctions, and there will be another auction coming up soon. Should I show you a preview? Should we do another world kilo of silver soon? I kind of went through those and pulled and kind of sorted that out a little bit. But anyway, that link right there, we could show that real quick. That goes to the Society of Medalists. It's a website put together by a collector. It's not put out by the Society of Medalists. They disbanded in 1995. But this website here goes through pretty much all of them. I think they got pictures of all. Here's the first issue, 1930. A couple more issues there in the 1930s. This is a popular one, Abundance Medal, American Abundance. It's like a Thanksgiving medal. Goes through pretty much all the early ones. During the war, they made this little silver one, these silver ones here in 33 and 44 to save bronze for the war. Yeah, we got a bunch of cool ones here. The ones that we showed you today are 1954 down through 1973. The alphabet right there. You want me to look at number 119? Okay. Yeah, they just kept going after that. There's some cool ones. All Creatures Great and Small, that's a pretty popular one. The Young Love and the Mother, that's a popular one these days. A lot of these are, you can see here too, in the 60s, the mintages were all around 800. Then they grew into the early and mid 70s, 1300, 1200, 13, 1500, 1700. And then they fell off again in the late 70s, 750, 750. I think they maybe capped it at 750. It looks like all these are 750. There's some real neat ones. Dawn and Dusk, Laughter and Tears, Preserve Our Heritage with a big cat on it. Some dolphins. There are some really neat ones. So this one's really popular and real expensive to try to find this one now. This one I think this one's one of the most expensive, the Bursting the Bounds. Goes for $600, $700, $800 when you find it usually. This is a real popular one. It's super high relief. It's almost like the shape of a globe. And this guy spoke at our coin club years and years ago, Alex Shagan. He's got children going around the world, and then this is like concave the other way with the stars. And it came in like the box is like, it couldn't fit in a normal box even. It was like really cool piece. And there's the mouse and the cat. This is another, these ones here. I mean, the mintages, they say 750 reported. That was probably what was authorized. I think the mintages are quite a bit lower than that. Kyle wanted to see 119, Charles Darwin. Yeah, the turtle. Yeah. Because he studied turtles and stuff on whatever that island was and came up with the theory of evolution. You got this one, Fire and Ice. That one I know goes for a lot of money today. The creation one. Yeah, there's some really neat pieces. There's the dinosaur ones, which are real popular. And then in 1994, they did this one in 1993. One side is the dinosaur, the other side is the fossil. And then in 1994, they did a series of 6 of them. So when you got this, you'd have to buy all 6 of them, I believe. And they're smaller. They're not full size. They're just smaller ones. And then the last one in the series was The Last Supper, 1995. 1995. And then there was so that's the main series. Then there was a couple others that are made by Society of Medalists and the Medallic Art Company. There was a couple Uniface paperweights, and then there were a couple anniversary. Like here's the 40th anniversary of the series, a bicentennial one they did, a 50th anniversary, 250th anniversaries. I guess they had a competition, and this was first place, and that was second place. They made them both. Those usually aren't considered part of the normal series. They're kind of like special issues. But yeah, 130, what does it say? 129 in the main series goes through. But there's actually more than that because they call this 128 A, B, C, D, E, and F. So that's really 6 medals. So I think altogether it's 139 pieces if you want to collect them all. Right there, 139. Right, so it's cool. And there's also variants of these. And you can see the silver ones they made. These are the original. The bronzes are the originals. Like this was made in 1930. The silver made in 1970 later. So when you see the silver ones, just know that they were all issued in the 70s, which is still fine. They're still collectible and still valuable, mostly because it's a big chunk of 999 silver now that weighs 6, 7, 8 ounces, depending on which one. They did some of these like in different finishes. Some were more popular than others. So you can go and look at all that if you really get into these. All right. Anybody else have any, gotta get a team cent in there? Heck yeah, Silver Mountain. Can't let Marmello get away with that team penny nonsense. All right, and then the background on the medals, you can read about the formation of the Society of Medalists. And this talks about how they had to do the wartime silvers and how it ended. Was already in trouble. The last issues were expensive to produce, didn't meet the same widespread approval as the earlier issues. And yeah, they folded up. Says here, I don't know when this was written. It says metals are affordable in the $30 to $60 range. I'd say now most are in the $50 to $100 range. Some in the $100 to $200 range. I'd say there's a big group of them that are 50 to 100. Then there's a bunch that are in the 100 to 300. And then the real expensive ones are, that's probably still accurate, $400 to $900. That's probably still accurate for the most expensive 10 or so, or most expensive dozen or so. But all of them you can find. There's none that are super rare. Like there's none that has a mintage of like 100 that like you'll never find. They're all out there. You can find them all on eBay. And every now and then you'll find a coin dealer somewhere that gets a big collect. Like I just got numbers, 40, I don't even remember, 49 through 88, I believe. So if I listed them on eBay, bam, there you go. You got 49 through 88 all at once if you want to buy them or whichever ones you need. Other times people get runs of number 1 through 50 or 1 through 20 or 50 through 90, So usually when people get these, they're in a collection where somebody was on the subscription for a while and they just store them away. And usually you get them all. There's a montage or collage, I guess is what you'd say, of all of them. The website there. Yeah. And one last thing. Let me see if I can find it here quickly for you. One last thing. There is a book about these. I don't have the book. I don't have it. I thought about getting it. Let me see if I can pull it up for us. Thought about getting it. I didn't get it though, because I don't think we need it. Here it is. It's on the PAN website, the Pennsylvania Association of Numismatists. Bring that up. There's the PAN website. Society of Medalists listing booklet. It's a 22-page book by Tom Uram. He's either the current president of the ANA or he's a former president. I know he was president of ANA recently. He might be still today. And it's a 22-page color book that goes through them all. Basically, it's exactly what's on that website I just showed you. Just shows all the listings. So if you want a 22-page booklet, and apparently it's not that expensive. Cost per booklet $6.50, which includes shipping. I mean, it's got to cost them at least $3 or $4 to mail it to you, right? It's got to. Now, Gringo, remember, the silver one is out there of the silver abundance, but that's not from 1935. That was made in 1970. In 1970, they started making them out of silver using the old dies. Still a collectible piece, but don't go nuts buying it either, because it's not from the 30s. The bronze one is actually the original, but it is cool. You've seen some of these at coin shows, never knew. And again, on the edge, I don't know if I really show it, but on the edge, you'll find a lot of Medallic art medals. They'll just say Medallic Art Company, New York. Or it'll say MACO, M-A-C-O, which is Medallic Art Company. All of the Society of Medalists ones will say Medallic Art Company or MACO, but they'll also say on the edges engraved Society of Medalists issue 38, Society of Medalists issue 87, whatever number it is. And on the ones from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, it's actually on the edge pretty large. Some of the more modern ones, it's on there pretty small. Like it'll just say SOM 111 real small. So, but they'll be marked on the edge. They'll be marked on the edge. So, all right, everybody, that's pretty much what I got for you this evening. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about the Society of Medalists, and maybe you saw a cool medal or two that maybe you didn't have or never seen before, and maybe you found one or two that now you want to go buy. I don't know. Maybe. If anybody has any questions on any of these, let me know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this collection of the 40. Also part of this collection, I bought, there were a couple other medals along with it that were not Society of Medalist issues. couple just common ones. There's like a 1965 Churchill Medallic Art Company medal that's not part of the series. There was a Richard Nixon inauguration medal from 1960. I, mean, I think it was maybe I think it was the 68, 1969 issue for his first term. There were just a couple random medals included. Just a couple random ones included. Carmelo says, get a book for Club and Kiwi. So you want me to get a book for my coin club? One of those books? I probably should order one. Probably should. It's only $6. Well, $6.50. And that includes shipping. I mean, that's a steal, right? I'll put a link in here if anybody else wants one. If anybody really wants one of these just sitting around. Again, I don't think you need it. I think all the information is on that website I posted earlier. Actually, more information's on that website because I think so, because the website you can see the different varieties of each medal. You can read about the artists if you want. You can see the mintage numbers. I think the website has more information than probably the book has. I don't have the book, so I can't tell you for sure. But if it's something you want lying around, 22-page color booklet, there's the link for that. Mr. Marsh, thanks again for the membership donations earlier. I'm glad that that works and get that working. And yeah, we got a couple things coming up here cooking in the works. We're going to do another auction coming up soon. I'm not sure if it's just going to be a silver bullion auction or if we're going to do world silver. Haven't decided yet. What's in the lower right? That is our monthly free coin giveaway that we're going to pick tomorrow morning. If you are not yet in the monthly free coin giveaway, maybe you should go to the video and leave a comment. We're giving away a peace dollar this month. Next month, we'll have another prize starting tomorrow. I plan to get the videos out tomorrow. If not, they'll get out the next day or the next day. We'll get them out the next day or two. So up for grabs is a free peace dollar if you haven't gotten into our monthly free coin giveaway yet. All right. All right. And yeah, I mean, other than that, not much else new. I bought some more rolls of peace dollars. If anybody needs some rolls of peace dollars, let me know. I'm like swimming in too much of those. I mean, if anybody needs like BU peace dollars, I can hook you up. Like, I mean, there you go, BU peace dollars. BU peace dollars. I mean, if anybody needs those, I can hook you up. So let me know. Just let me know. I think I also got some Morgans, but they might not be as nice. Actually, let's see what this is. Yeah, here's a roll. They're probably AU 1921s. There might be a couple BUs in this roll. I don't know. All right, first Saturday in May, right, Kyle? The Derby. Good luck with that. All right, everybody, that's gonna be it. Marmello says book don't need something bad. I don't know what you're trying to say. Or plug. Book don't need battery or plug. Oh, is that's why you're saying that you like having the book instead of the website because you don't need a battery or a plug? Okay. Do I have any peace dollars? Oh, yeah, Amy, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, like if you need some BU peace dollars, like there's a roll right there for you. But do you need, I mean, I got some peace dollars if you need them. Do you need some peace dollars? This one's more of an AU roll if you need that. Did you need some peace dollars? All right. Very good, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure to click that like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And stay tuned. I think maybe what we'll do next. What do you guys think about doing a kilo of world silver? I got these bags ready to go. Like, look at all these coins in here. Look at all those coins in here. Look at that. There's one in the flip with a nice butterfly on it, too. Bunch of world coins. That one has 1,005 grams. Do this one. 997 gram. Bunch of cool world coins. We can just go through them one by one and auction them off. Even some little tiny ones in there. We got the Merc dime on the corner. It's like a BU Merc dime. That shouldn't be in there. Oh well. I guess that one has a Merc dime. This one has 1,009 grams in it. Maybe we'll do one of these world silver sales next. Maybe we'll do it this weekend. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. I don't know. We only got 9 viewers though, so I can't be doing auctions if I only get 9 viewers. So maybe it's just a bad time right now. But yeah, I got a total. I think I got 11 or 12 of these bags. I don't know. I know I got at least 11. So I probably should. Is that a walker in the middle? Yeah, it is. There's a walker in that one. So maybe there's a U.S. coin in here. So obviously, there's a U.S. coin here and there in some of these. All right, please play Papers, Please on the game channel. Not today. We're doing GeoGuessr in about a half hour, Marmello. GeoGuessr in about a half hour if you want to join us there. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and appreciate all the support as always. Make sure to get in that monthly free coin giveaway, and if you want to be supporting the monthly free coin giveaways each and every month, make sure to join up as a channel member because I use that channel membership fee pretty much to fund those. So. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, everybody.